this is the last scheduled rewatch. I'm sad. Welcome back to Every Disney Movie Ever. My name is Jess and I'm watching Every Disney Movie Ever. This is the Rewatch series, and today I'm going to talk about the AristoCats. The AristoCats is a 1970 animated theatrical release, and I've covered everybody but two people. Everyone I've already covered will be listed and linked in the description. As always, the two I haven't covered are Eric Kluwerth and Julius Svensson, both of whom are best known for their Disney work: Robin Hood, Winnie the Pooh, Bedknobs and Broomsticks, this, etc. Apparently, the film is based off a story called The AristoCats by Tom McGowan and Tom Rowe. I couldn't find the original story. I couldn't find a plot for the original story. What I gathered is Tom McGowan was told to try and find stories about animals, and he found an article about a woman who left all of her inheritance to her cats, and he thought that was interesting, and him and Tom Rowe wrote a basic story, and then the script was based off that story. So not really a book or a story that I can compare it to, because it was pretty much for the movie. The film stars Ava Gabor, Phil Harris, Dean Clark, Liz English, Gary Dubin, Roddy Maud Roxby, Hermione Badley, Sterling Holloway, Pat Buttram, George Lindsay, Monica Evans, and Carol Shelley. Ava Gabor, Phil Harris, Sterling Holloway, Pat Buttram, and Monica Evans I have all covered in previous videos. They will be listed and linked in the description. Dean Clark plays Berlioz, and this is his only credit. Liz English plays Marie, and this is her only credit. Gary Dubin plays Toulouse and is best known for Jaws 2, Cursed, Martial Law, and this. Roddy Maud Roxby plays Edgar and is best known for Turnbull's Finest Hour, Wives and Daughters, Unconditional Love, and this. Hermione Badley plays Madam, and she's best known for The Secret of Nim, Maud, Mary Poppins, and this. George Lindsay plays Lafayette, and he's best known for Robin Hood, The Andy Griffith Show, The Rescuers, and this. Carol Shelley plays Amelia and is best known for Robin Hood, Hercules, The Odd Couple, and Bewitched. In 1961, Walt had Harry Title and Tom McGowan search for animal stories that could be adapted for the magical world of Disney. By 1962, Harry Title found a story about a mother and her kittens in New York City, but felt Paris was a much better setting. They created a preliminary story that involved a butler and a maid trying to eliminate the cats so they could get the inheritance. By August of 1962, they had a script sent to Disney executives that was rejected, so Harry Title took the script directly to Walt, who approved it but said cuts had to be made by the February of 1963. Summer of 1963 rolls around and the project was shelved. Title then recommends that it be made into an animated feature instead of something for the magical world of Disney. Later, Wolfgang Reitherman suggests that it is the follow-up to The Jungle Book. In 1966, Ken Anderson is assigned to see how the film would work as an animation. Walt approved preliminary sketches just months before his death. Wolfgang Reitherman took over for Winston Hibbler, who had taken over for Harry Title. Wolfgang Reitherman then removed a story about Duchess trying to get the kittens adopted and removed the maid in order to have one single villain and simplify the story in Edgar. They had a lot of famous Disney voices casted, but they also cast Ava Gabor, who was a very fresh, feminine voice, and the filmmakers and animators loved the farm dogs so much that they added an extra scene with them. Ken Anderson spent 18 months developing the characters. The Sherman Brothers left the studio after doing the music for this film. They were fed up with management, but they had finished the music for Bedknobs and Broomsticks, and in 2000 they actually returned to do music for the Tigger movie. So obviously the hatchet was buried by 2000, but they wrote multiple songs for this film, but only two were used. The opening title, The AristoCats, and Scales and Arpeggios were used of the Sherman Brothers. Floyd Huddleston and Al Rinker wrote Everybody Wants to Be a Cat, and Terry Gilkyson wrote Thomas O'Malley Cat. The film was released in December of 1970, and it made $11 million domestically and $17 million overseas. It was a success. It's very good. Critics liked it. They said it was pleasant and simple and very well animated, but re-release critics were way more harsh. They claimed it was episodic and superficial. It has a 66% on Rotten Tomatoes. As I'm sure you saw in the thumbnail, we own the AristoCats, and it is a little special edition. It's not a 2-disc special edition, but it's just a little special edition released in 2008. Had a deleted song by the Sherman Brothers called She Never Felt Alone. And the Sherman Brothers walk you through it and explain how it's two parts, and it's pourquoi, and she never felt alone. It's very sweet. It's adorable how they take you through it. There's old storyboards, etc. Then there is the Sherman Brothers taking you through the opening song and scales and arpeggios and what that process was like for them and how they got the guy to sing the Aristocat opening song because he was in retirement and he agreed to come out of retirement to do that song. It was very wonderful because he was the big Paris French man. Then there's a scrapbook, which is really cool. It's a bunch of old stills, production stills, storyboards, etc. There was the Great Cat excerpt, and it was a short from one of the Magical World of Disney episodes where Walt literally takes you through like the cat family, and it's like animated and live action. It was cute. And then there was also Bath Day, which is a Figaro short. So it's Minnie and Figaro, but it's a Figaro short. It was cute. In 2005, a sequel began development. It was about Marie on a cruise ship where she gets smitten with another kitten, and then they have to stop a jewel thief, and it was supposed to be 3D computer animation instead of 2D animation, but it was canceled. Thank goodness, it sounds like. In my original video, link in the description, I discussed how I'm not a big fan of Thomas O'Malley. Edgar's insane with the amount of sleeping pills he puts in that milk, and he's a horrible motorcyclist. We almost had a dad was the saddest line in the world. It's really funny. I love the film, especially because of Napoleon and Lafayette. I think they are hysterical. That is some of the funniest gags, I think. And all around, I just love the movie. I have new notes. I pretty much kind of stand by my hate Thomas O'Malley statement. In the beginning, Thomas is so cringe to me. I can't stand him. Obviously, by the end, he has actually fallen in love with Duchess and is like, wow, your eyes are actually like sapphires. That's pretty corny. And she's like, no, it's cute. You're fine. But in the beginning, he is just the definition of cringe to me. Like, I can't handle Thomas in the beginning, but I warm up to him. He steps up. He steps up. I have a controversial opinion next to that one. I hate Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. I can't stand that song. I think it is, I don't like it. I just don't like the song. Like, it's fine. It doesn't make me hate the movie. I obviously really like the movie, but that song, it's so long, and I just don't like it. And then that slow part in the middle where Duchess does the harp, her first line out of her mouth is, if you want to turn me on. And I was so taken aback because I've never paid attention, I think, to that before. And I was like, if you want to turn me on, what? You're a cat. This is a kid's movie. Oh my goodness. I was very taken aback by that. And then the cats and the people in this film keep their eyes closed so much. I had so much trouble getting screenshots of all the characters with their eyes open because they would sing with their eyes closed, or they'd be like, oh, Edgar. And I was like, just open your eyes. I need a picture of you. And so that was really difficult. But I don't have much to say because a lot of my old notes are true still. I love Napoleon and Lafayette. I love them so much. They crack me up. And I love the movie. It's really funny. Edgar's hysterical, Roquefort's hysterical, Frou-Frou's hysterical. The part of the movie that I don't like very much is Everybody Wants to Be a Cat. I think it goes on too long. It's just like there's no point to it. I think it interrupts the plot. Disney was a big have a song but don't let it interrupt the plot. That's how I feel. I feel like Everybody Wants to Be a Cat just makes the plot come to a screeching halt just to be like, hey, everybody wants to be a cat. And I'm like, stop this. How does this move the plot forward? It doesn't. That is everything I have for the AristoCats. This was also the last scheduled rewatch. I am now probably going to be starting to cover films I have found, which isn't very many. So if there is a movie you love that is popular that I didn't cover the way I cover films now, like Mary Poppins. Mary Poppins I was pretty detailed about, but I did not cover it the way I do now. Do you want me to rewatch Mary Poppins? Do you want me to rewatch Swiss Family Robinson? Do you want me to rewatch the Three Caballeros? I don't know. Let me know if there's something you want me to rewatch because I didn't do it justice the first time around like I do now. If there isn't anything, great. This is the last rewatch, and now we'll be moving on to found films. I can't believe it's the last rewatch. You guys, I'm sad. I had fun on the rewatch series. Did you? Let me know down in the description. Also, a lot of you said you are open to starting shoutouts. So, if you want a shout out, comment down below. That's how you're gonna get a shout out, so you better comment. Okay, that's it. Re-rate it. I don't even know if I was rating back then, so probably a 7. 7 cats out of 10. It's pretty good. It's a pretty good movie. Its original movie count number was. If you want to keep up with the movie I'm watching when, follow me on Instagram or Twitter. You'll find out what movie I'm watching when. I put up videos every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Until next time, comment, subscribe, but I'm not sure how you are, so you do, and don't be Edgar about it. Thank you guys so much for keeping up with the rewatch series. I've had so much fun with this rewatch series. I hope you guys have. I know a lot of you are really excited to get some of these classics really in-depth and long information. I know I adored this process. So again, if there is a movie you want me to rewatch that I definitely could rewatch because there is actually information about it, comment down below. I know someone requested a movie a while ago. I wrote it down. I'll make sure it's in the list. So the rewatches and found movies will be what's going to happen going forward, but this is the end of the official rewatch, so I just want to thank you guys for coming on this journey with me. I love you all.